Hello Sadhana, hi,
Hi
how are
Dev.
you?
Very well, how are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. One thing that I've known about you is dawn ko pakadna mushkil mein namumkin hai, and the same goes to you because we have been trying for more than a month to get hold of
I'm
this.
sorry.
No, but I mean the kind of work that you do, I've seen your work on Instagram, the kind of animal lover you are, the kind of, not just animal lover for the name's sake, but the kind of things that you do, and for the kind of work that you're traveling everywhere. I think if I were at your place, I don't think I would have given this date as well, but thanks again, I'm lucky
Thank
that
you,
you're
it's my
here.
pleasure, and I'm so sorry to keep you waiting.
No, it's okay. Yeah, you did actually keep us waiting. We really waited for you to come here, and since we are starting the studio here and we are still, putting things together, I really wanted you to be there, and thanks for joining.
Thank you, my pleasure.
All right. So first things first, how are you? And when I say how are you, it's not about whether you're good or not. I really want to understand how exactly are you, how are things going on, how's everything?
I'm good. I'm content. I'm just happy in life.
Okay.
I'm someone who doesn't take much stress. A great quality I have because I forget things very quick. Like if I have a fight with someone, I forget the next morning. So one of the reasons why I don't take stress is, having the forgetful nature. Also because I, as a person, I'm very content. I have goals in life, but I don't have. Before this interview started, I told you I'm greedy to do more things for animals. But, when you talk about profession, I'm very content. Jo mila, great. Jo nahi mila, maybe kismat mein nahi tha. So I'm okay.
Right.
I'm good.
Is that your definition of happiness?
Yeah, I mean, I have great family. I have everything that I desire for in life, good food, parents, calm, friends. और क्या चाहिए इंसान को?
Right. And how much time did it take for you to actually understand that this is what happiness looks like?
I'm still trying to understand. I'm still trying to understand, am I going the right way? But I've always been like this, Dev. I have never been someone who was sulky, who was oh, look at that friend of mine. I compete with me. I don't compete with the outsiders. I don't look at the other model and think, oh my God, I went for Miss India and I didn't get into top 3. So of course I felt sad that I deserved to be there because I knew how much hard work I had put, compared to the other girls. And I've always been vocal about this in front of, the trainer and in front of my choreographer that I think I deserve to be there. But nahi hua, no problem. It's fine.
Right. What's your process of getting over things that makes you upset? Because see, for me, you look like a very practical person. Right, and if it didn't happen for a reason or something like that, you would believe. But then for me to understand how exactly or how practically you move out of certain things that have actually made you upset or actually had an impact in a negative way, how do you move on?
How do I move on? So I am a balance of practical and emotional. I'm not just practical in life. I am very emotional.
Okay.
But if you talk about career-wise, I'm sure you're asking about my career. Career-wise, because I have never been competing with the others, I always had that understanding कि मैंने शायद से कुछ गड़बड़ किया, So that way you are just like, ठीक है, अगली बार कर लेना. Yeah, maybe this was not your path. When you start competing with others is when you are negative in your head and you're like, oh, you know what? I have to do this more. And you don't go the positive way then. You're constantly looking out for digging negativity in you. When you want others, how you want others to look at yourself is how you look at yourself. Like if I put myself down in front of you, you will look at me the way I look at myself, right?
Right.
So,
this reminds me of Shah Rukh Khan. In one of his very early interviews, he says that आप बहुत better हो, आप best हो, but मैं आपसे थोड़ा better हूँ. This is what he says. And I believe that Shah Rukh Khan has actually, impacted me a lot in many ways. And I think he has impacted the whole generation.
Most of us, yeah.
How do you look at him? Because see, you are in the industry and, you might work with him also very soon.
Yeah.
But then how do you look at him as a public figure and how do you look at him as a person?
His biggest positive thing that I look at is he's people's person. The way he meets people, even if he doesn't know them, like his fans and well-wishers, is how he treats them. That makes him so different from every other actor, I would say. Like his warmth, I've never met him. And hopefully maybe I'll meet him in coming future. But his way of treating people is what makes him so attractive and the superstar that he is.
Right.
So I would want to learn that from him, that how to be a people's person.
Right. We believe that people who are in the industry currently, we actually don't understand the struggle, from where they have been to where they are right now. And I'm sure your Instagram speaks of something else, and you might have had your own stories, and you might have your own fair share of struggle. So I'd want to understand the whole process of you from Sadhana Singh, a normal girl from UP, because you're from UP, to a Sadhana who's a makeup artist as of now, a celebrity makeup artist now. So what has been the whole journey? How has been it?
Sadhana Singh, that came from UP Ayodhya, was a very simple girl coming from a background that didn't allow to wear jeans. Forget about glamour world. I never imagined to be sitting here today giving this interview, because our thing was set कि डिफेंस बैकग्राउंड से हैं, 12 के बाद शादी हो जाएगी, या तो कॉलेज करोगे आप और उसके बाद शादी हो जाएगी, right? That is how it works in our families. But धीरे धीरे, thanks to my sister who was a rebel, who went against and said, नहीं मुझे jeans पहनना है, I want to go out and I want to do this. And she is the reason why I have reached and how I have reached this, this spot in my life. A girl who could not speak English, who did not know कि he का मतलब होता है लड़का, not लड़की. Because in KV schools, you'll have all defense kids. And speaking in English over there was like, oh my god, she can speak English. So none of us could speak English, broken English. Broken भी नहीं, मतलब कुछ था ही नहीं. There was no English.
Right.
So it took me a long way to first come out of that whole comfort zone of कि, kurta pajama, dupatta, do choti. And after 12th, when I moved to Hyderabad, got into college, that's when I started wearing modern clothes and I started understanding life better, कि, okay, there's life outside this little pond, which is my comfort zone.
Right.
And I became from a very simple Billy to a Sherni in, I don't know how to explain this, but this college was a game changer for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that feeling. A little bit. Of course, I might have not experienced it, but I understand the feeling when you are stuck at a place, and then suddenly you are not stuck anymore. You suddenly get that space for yourself, you get that feel for yourself where you're free, and now you understand freedom. And trust me, once you taste freedom, there's no going back.
There's no going back.
Right?
Yeah.
So what happened after college, from there to,
After college, got into Femina.
Okay.
And that was a life.
How was your parents' reaction to it? Like, how was it?
My mom was like, okay, so girl who has never worn anything beyond kurta pajama, straight away went to, so when you want to enter Miss India, first step is wearing a bikini.
How old were you? I'm sorry.
After school. How
16,
old would I be?
15?
No, not 15. I must be around more than 17. I mean, because starting this thing is 18, I think, yeah? So
I was in
the
first qualification. Right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, so first step is you have to send your pictures in bikini because they have to see your body if it's fit to, whatever. That's the first step. And for me to, think of wearing a bikini was like, घर से तो निकालेंगे 100%.
Right.
But what if I don't get into Miss India? ये bikini का क्या करूँगी मैं? How will I come back home? But I had to take the step. I was like, no, my sister was like, Oli, you can do this. You have to take the step.
Really?
I called my mom. I still remember. I had the pictures and I said, Mummy, aankh band karo. And I showed it to her. She started crying. She's like, how can you wear this? You can't wear this. We're Rajputs and, हमने my बेटी सब नहीं करती है. But that day until date, my parents are the biggest support I ever had after that incident. Wow. Like now there's no force of getting married, no force of like, why aren't you getting married? Why are you just constantly working? Or you're just into animal welfare? No questions. They are just happy, acha, she's coming back home at night. They know that, this girl is not going to lie or she's going to hide. They're very happy. They're very content ki chalo, hamari beti is not doing anything that we're not going to be proud of.
Right. And was there certain things from your community side? Because of course, relatives, when we talk about, lots of things that they talk.
I had my relatives, of course, questioning why she's not getting married. Maybe she has some flaw. Maybe, regular relatives taunt that, acha, isme kuch kami hoegi. But that never affects my family and me. So it doesn't, anything that doesn't reach till here should never bother you. And even if it reaches over here, you should think, is it worth? Is it coming from someone you really love and admire? If yes, then it should bother you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very practical, and since you're being very practical, and let me get here. You tried getting into it, and then there were certain things happened. You did not.
Yeah, I didn't make it to top three.
Top three. But how was the experience?
Very good experience. I think Miss India mein jaake I realized one thing, that it opened so many doors for me. I started getting so many offers to be in fashion weeks, to do shows. I have done so many fashion weeks after that, and I as a person have evolved. I have changed for betterment. I have traveled the country. I've traveled to so many cities. I would have never been able to do all that if I didn't have open mind. After going to Miss India, I made so many friends who were from like English speaking school, and they started abroad, and they're from well-to-do families. So I got to make friends from all kinds of surrounding, and I learned a lot. So it definitely did good for me. I would never say that I lost anything. I lost nothing. I only gained freedom, and freedom of speech, freedom of living life, understanding कि जिंदगी is not just that comfort zone जहाँ पे आप खाना खा रहे हो, स्कूल जा रहे हो, वापस आ रहे हो, and that's it.
Right. Sadhana, there are many rumors out there, to be honest, when it comes to the glamour industry.
Yeah.
Right. And there are many rumors that I don't even want to utter it in front of the camera because it's very weird, especially for women.
Yeah.
Right. If a woman is doing great in this industry, that means she is, doing certain things
Shortcut.
that's very, very lots of things that people speak. So I want to understand, how is it actually? How is the industry actually? Is it true, or does it have a darker phase? I do believe that it might have also, but I just want to understand how is your process and what's your understanding of this glamour industry?
See, Dave, I think every industry has its ups and downs. Every industry has its dark side and the best side. It will be wrong on anyone's part to say कि glamour industry, it's more of shady than the good. The girls go through shortcut. Only thing is, it's out there for people to judge. Like movie industry, it's out there for people to easily judge. Achha, she's done Botox, she has done fillers.
Right.
A model, she must have been with some powerful person, and that's why she's walking the ramp. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Shortcut का, if you take shortcut in life in any field, the result will not last long. You reach there and you fall there, from there.
Right.
But when you take the correct path, you actually go and you enjoy, and you are there. So there are some girls, maybe, I don't know, it's up to them. I'm nobody to judge, taking shortcut or not. But I've never taken shortcut. I've really gone through my proper process of traveling in buses to get a show. There used to be fashion week that happened in Bombay, and I would look so misfit because these girls are all, high fashion. They were great brands, and I would wear one West Side t-shirt and be like, oh my God, I'm looking so out of place. But even then, I did something like Latin Fashion Week in 2010, which was a big deal, and I got it without audition. I don't know how they saw my picture at somebody else's show, and they offered me. So there is no shortcut to work. There is no shortcut to hard work ever.
Right. I mean, for the face of it, it looks like it just happened overnight.
Yeah.
But then
the struggle behind that is, trust me, it's like, I know the struggle for sure. Modeling, I know the struggle. I have traveled in buses, those buses that didn't have AC, because my mother would give me 1,000 rupees, ki chalo, take the AC bus. I would, save
for
that.
The makeup, right? I mean, I'm of course, right.
Yeah, so I would save that money and I would take the bus, reach in the morning, go to some mall, freshen up and go to the fashion show, and not tell them that I've come from Hyderabad, because they will not take me. They'll be like, we need Bombay girls. So I'm like, I live in Bombay, and I would get the show. So I have done all that, traveling. Imagine traveling the whole night, in the morning, reaching the show, night again taking a bus back to Hyderabad. To earn that 5,000 rupees that you get for the show.
Right.
Now
I think that the time that we have waited for you is worth it, because I'm sure there are women out there, girls out there who would really get inspired now. Because the next question that I want to ask you is, I'm sure it would really help them a lot. Tell me about being a fit of a place. When you're at a place and that sometimes you're not the right fit here, right? In terms of, let's say, money or power, or the kind of way that you're looking or the way you're talking, and sometimes you would understand that yes, I might not belong here, but then you still be there and then see and let the magic happen. So I want to understand, at the places where you thought you don't belong to, how did you made sure that your mind was there? How was your mindset, and how did you maneuver through all those things? Because I know it's very tough to actually maneuver in such situations. So how was it for you? How did you maneuver it?
That's a difficult question. I'll tell you why. Because I never planned anything that I did. And when I say I didn't plan, as in like when I went for my first ever time fashion week, I was definitely not a fit over there, fashion-wise and speaking skills. And I just thought, ki my God, मैं कितनी underdressed हूँ. But the zeal to get that show and do that show, कि मुझे करना है, it's okay, ये सारे high fashion.
Like अंदर से you speak in Hindi and you're like, नहीं मुझे तो करना है ना, that mother tongue conversation that you have.
Sorry, my Hindi keeps coming out.
I know, but I think that's like the best. I think the power that we have comes from our mother tongue.
Absolutely.
Like outside you might talk any language, but inside वो
यार आप लड़ाई करोगे तो अपनी भाषा में ही करोगे, इंग्लिश में थोड़ी ना करोगे. और आप दिल से कुछ बोल रहे हो तो you would want to speak in your, you know, you're comfortable.
The bigger ladais, the bigger fights that you have to do is with yourself.
With yourself, absolutely,
right? Because you have to fight yourself to actually bring you out there, right? You have to make sure that you're out there. You have to make sure that your mindset is expanded, and no matter how much you behave outside, if you're not fighting inside, I don't think you'll ever be ready to do that.
You first need to come out of your comfort zone, Dave. I see a lot of these girls who have the power to be there, but you know, they are stuck in their comfort zone. No, you know what? This is not my thing. Nothing is your thing and nothing is not your thing.
Right.
It's the zeal that you have inside. Do you want this? If you're thirsty, do you want to get that glass of water?
Right.
If you don't, you want it, but you're like, it's too far.
It won't come.
Nobody can help you.
Right.
Nobody can help you. So my thing was that I want to be there. I want to be a good model. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. And I always knew one thing, कि मैं उस sheep के, you know, that I'm not one of the sheep walking in the crowd, you know. I want to be akele. I want to be standing out. So वो मुझे हमेशा से पता था कि I want to do something जहाँ मैं stand out करती हूँ. What do you feel? जिसमें भी आप घुसो, just I was in a call center too. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I was with HSBC for a few months before I got into college because I had a few months off and I was like, let me just try. And I went for this interview where my interview was so bad. I gave such bad answers. I had no idea what the interviewer was asking, but I don't know why he took me, and I went into the job. And that 6 months was really nice. I mean, you know, it was just random. I don't know why I got to HSBC, but I did that. So मैंने बहुत चीज़ें experience की है. Like if I start telling you what all I've done, you'll be like, Sadhana, how old are you? Are you like 50 plus? Because you've done so many things.
Right.
तो मैंने experience बहुत सारी चीज़ें की है. I got into Frankfurt. I was there for 1 year. I thought I want to get into cabin crew, but I knew this is not my thing. You know, I have great respect for air hostesses, but I can't, you know, be in a closed environment. But modeling was something that I loved. Like when I walk the runway, I feel like I own it.
Yeah,
absolutely, I breathe literally. You know, so yes, runway was my thing.
Right. How was your runway experience? And you know, when you're on there, you know, on the ramp.
It's like you're in
the lights are there in the ice.
The harsh lights, and people can literally, they see you if you're breathing faster or slower. They can see every nerve. They're that close, and every flaw of you can be seen in that harsh light. I was so conscious initially because I have acne skin. I knew that, you know, as I said, I was not a fit to be a model then, you know, because back then it was like all about clean skin, great hair, thin, tall girl. But I had the best experience. I mean, touch wood, 12 years of my, you know, modeling experience. I've had the bestest time, and if I ever get a chance to go back on runway, I will without even thinking for a second, because that's the place I love. I mean, I love makeup, of course, you know, creating a character, doing a bride's face. For me, doing a bridal now is being a part of somebody's life for the rest of their story. You know, when they think about their marriage, they think of me also, right? Like, oh, you know, I look so pretty. Oh, who got you ready? Sadhana got me ready. So,
So how did you get into makeup? Like, you were on the ramp, you have done fashion weeks, and from there to getting into makeup artist, and you know, right now you're a makeup artist, a celebrity makeup artist. So how did that transition happen? And I'm sure it was tough to leave the ramp as well.
It was very difficult. You know, when you're in the limelight and you're the model and people like you, they want you, you're there in every show that happens, and suddenly you start seeing your downfall. Everybody has their downfall, right? Of course, yeah. I could start seeing that in 2018, that there are new girls to replace me, and I started seeing okay, it's time that, and I have been somebody who accepts things very well. I don't be like, no, I don't live in delusional world, ki, nahi, you know what? I have my circle, they'll still call me for the show. They will call me. But I want people to call me because they want me, not because he are dost hai. You know what I mean? So that's when I was friends with an actor, and she said, why don't you try? You know, maybe this is your calling, because I was looking to switch professions. Like, I'm not somebody who'll sit at home doing nothing. So I was confused what I want to do. I was not somebody who wanted to get into acting, because I'm not a great actor. It takes a lot to be an actor in front of the camera. But I didn't know which direction to go in. I knew animal activism, yes. But for that, I need another balance, you know.
Right.
Without money, you can't help nobody.
Right.
So
Right.
that time I met somebody who showed me the right path, and I'm so grateful for that. And I just got into makeup, and the person who I started working with was already an A-lister. So for me, it was do or die. कि मैंने अगर अच्छा किया तो I am there. नहीं किया तो टाटा बाय बाय.
Right. So that was the decision that you
Yes.
that might have.
That just happened. That just happened. So I can never say कि मैं makeup artist हमेशा से बनना चाहती थी. I didn't even know कि like I never knew that was a profession until I actually got into it. Like people doing my makeup was a different thing, but I never thought I can be that. You know.
Right.
I didn't have that skill to be a makeup artist. It takes a lot. Trust me.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does it take to actually be a makeup artist?
The skill, to understand someone's face, you know, it's लोगों को लगता है कि मेकअप करना बहुत आसान है, but actually imagine a face that comes on big screen and you should understand the face. Like you're not just going there and doing what you like. You're going there and creating a character. Like I don't know if you've seen Family Man 2.
I did.
That is so different than the other characters that Samantha has
anyone
played.
Who haven't seen it, please go watch it. This is your calling, please. Yeah.
So it's you are creating a character, and अगर आपने वो ठीक से नहीं किया अपना काम, like you don't understand the face and the character, then you're just ruining the whole hard work of the entire team, from the actor to the director. Basically the whole script is gone for a toss, because imagine a girl has to look poor in a character and you make her look rich, you know, with all that nice high-end makeup.
Right.
So it's as difficult as it, you know, probably doesn't look like, but it is difficult.
So what's your process of reading a character and, you know, doing the whole makeup? What's your process?
I generally get to understand the character through the actor. The actress, you know, whoever I'm working with makes me understand that, okay, Sadhana, this is the character. So what do you think we can do? And I come up with my ideas, and then we meet midway and create the character.
Right. So how does the whole environment on the set be like?
It's fun. It's there are sets that are very serious, but I am not a serious person. So I love to talk to anyone and everyone on the set, and I don't remember one instance or one set where I was bored and I was like, oh my god, because I am a talkative person. तो मैं कैसे बोर होंगी यार, और मैं दूसरों को भी बोर नहीं होने दूंगी, चाहे वो भले ही मेरे conversation बोर रहेगा, but I will enjoy my conversation with that person. So the environment on set is fun. People are like, you know, because you're working with them 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. So you end up becoming a family on that particular film. And then you move to the next, and, you know, it's a cycle. It just repeats, yeah.
Right. And now with makeup, since we're talking about it, when we talk about beauty standards in India especially, it is changing, right? But I want to understand what's your point of view on the beauty standards that we have in India.
Okay. It is changing, for sure. There's still a long way to go, but we're definitely changing and evolving. Earlier it was all about white skin and you know, looking a certain way, pretty, all, you know, fair skin, as I said. But now things are changing. People are accepting the way they are, and especially with the brides. The reason I keep mentioning the brides is because earlier it was like, I want to look a little, you know, fairer or light skin.
Does it break your heart when someone comes?
It does. It makes me feel sad that this poor girl has to look a certain way to impress the, you know, the groom and the family. But the fact that now people are accepting it. I've met so many brides recently. They are so beautifully, you know, dusky colors, and I love dusky color because that's us, that's Indians, you know. We are not white skin people. So I love that they own their skin color and they say, Sadhana, please don't change my color, let it be this. And I feel so good. I feel so nice, that because it speaks about the person's confidence. It speaks about the person.
The personality.
Yeah, the personality, that she knows herself and she loves it. Nobody. I've also met brides where they request me to change the color, and I'm like, sorry, not happening, because I'm not an artist who works just for money. I work for my satisfaction, mental satisfaction, that I don't want to make you look a certain way.
It is a very tough decision to make?
It is, because then you start losing a lot of work where you say no.
Correct. So how does it work practically?
For me, it's like when I get brides who send me a picture that, okay, I want to look like me. It's very easy for me to pick. The moment I hear something that is not comforting for me, like you know, changing skin color, I take a step back, because I'm not here to make you look like another person. I'm here to enhance what you already have, you know. I'm not here to change the whole personality of yours. So tomorrow when you see your wedding pictures, you shouldn't be like, oh my god, why do I look so white? I want you to look at your wedding pictures and say, wow, I look so beautiful. And who made you beautiful? This girl, you know. So yeah.
I think our lives get easier because of certain great people out there. If at all we are under an air condition, that is something that's been built by someone, ideas and stuff like that. So I believe that most of our lives, if at all we are living today, and it's easy for us to live, to drive a car, to wear comfy clothes and be there, I think it's because of certain people who have actually put their minds and heart and soul to actually make it better. But at the same time, if there are certain things that's going wrong also in this society, it's also because of certain people who have or might not have understood the repercussions of their decisions back then. People like LGBTQ plus community, back then also, if you see in the movies or in the mass media, people were actually judged and mocked. When someone who's little, gay. I'm sorry, what I mean by little gay? Who's gay? When someone is gay, there are certain comments that the people go away and then they run from.
They think it's a disease.
Yeah, they think it's a disease, and I believe that things like this, if we are regressive at a point, even at this point where other countries are actually more mature than us, than Indians, I think this has happened because of certain people have portrayed certain things about India in a bad way. Right, not accepting the gender, not accepting the color. If you have seen for the longest of times, Fair and Lovely was always about make yourself certain shades fairer. But now it's changed, of course. Lots of things have happened. It's changed. But I know that the change is there. But अगर ये सब गलतियाँ नहीं होता ना, if at all these mistakes weren't there at the first place, I think we have been a better society even now. What do you think?
अगर गलतियाँ नहीं होता तो हमें पता ही क्या चलता सही है क्या है गलत क्या है. As I say, there's white, there's black.
Right.
So अगर गलती नहीं होता तो हमें पता कैसे चलता कि ये सही है.
Wow.
We all are evolving as person.
Right.
If you met me 10 years back, you would be like, Sadhana, you're so different. Very different thought process, how I was as a person. As I said, I was very different, and each day you're learning and you're progressing. So yes, we do come from a society where हमारा दिमाग बहुत limited था कि ये सही है और ये गलत है, और वो बड़े decide करते हैं कि चलो you have to go to school, go to college, शादी हो जाता है. That's just end of story. For a woman, men it's different.
Right.
Similar it goes with LGBTQ. Like people earlier thought it was a disease कि अरे gay होना is like a pap, but now it's expanding, and see how it's evolving right now. And just because it doesn't comfort you and it's not in your preference, you call it wrong.
Right.
But who are you to decide what is right and wrong? कि गे होना गलत बात है, किसने बोला आपको? Did God come down and tell you? No.
Right.
Your preferences are your personal choice. Right. I'm a woman, I like a man, that's my preference. I'm a woman, if I like a woman, is my preference.
Right.
Nobody tells me what is right and wrong.
Right. Right.
What might be wrong to me might be right to you.
Right.
So let's keep our personal choices to ourselves. हर चीज़ पे टिप्पणी देना today has become a trend. I'll tell you what is trending in our country right now. I don't know about other countries. The reason I say our country is because I know about this country, what's happening.
And we have a right to talk about our country, right?
Yeah, we have no right to talk about other countries. So the trend that we are following in today's generation in our country is हर चीज़ पे अपनी टिप्पणी देना, भले ही वो गलत क्यों ना हो, और खुद आप घर पे बैठे हो in comfort, doing nothing absolutely for the society. The basic thing, forget about anything else. आप बाहर जाके वोट भी नहीं दे रहे हो, लेकिन जब कुछ और गवर्नमेंट आती है, you turn back and say, अरे तो चोर है, they don't do right, they're not doing anything. Then go out and vote. Government has given you right?
Right.
You have the biggest power, that is voting. आप क्यों जा रहे हो? गर्मी बहुत है बाहर. So who's selfish? You. And then you sit and judge who should be gay and who should be straight. Who are you?
Wow. Right. Right. I mean, I really like that we are maneuvering through many, important matters. And now, since we're talking about the politics now, how do you see the current politics in India?
Devi,
are you content? Are you content with what's happening? How's everything going on?
So,
and of course, I also believe that we really need a powerful man to lead a powerful country, because India has been in shades for most of its time, but I think now India is actually raising in terms of economical aspects, in terms of in general, what kind of mindset or personality that we are generating right now. The new generation is like amazing. So how do you see India as, and how do you see the whole politics thing that's going on? Because you are very active in politics, so I just want to understand that aspect of yours.
Since you're following with my Instagram so well, you would also see people are abusing me also for just expressing my views on what I like and talking about politics. It's I don't know what to say. So I just feel that be a responsible citizen. If you want a certain government to come in power, make the basic effort to go out and vote and don't just sit and blame the government for every move. Like lockdown happened. Weren't we also responsible as a citizen to help people outside? Like if I have the facility to have 2 rotis, am I not supposed to give one to the one who is actually dying outside without food, who has no home, who has no shelter? But everybody had something to speak on social media. Why? You're sitting under, as I said earlier, fan के नीचे बैठे हो, आपके हाथ में स्मार्टफोन है, but आप खुद डम हो, तो आपने सोचा let me just start abusing the government. कि why didn't you do this? I read so many posts about how USA is giving pension and money to people who are jobless and have no food or whatever during the lockdown, while India is not doing that. Do you know the population of America? Do you know how many what is the percentage of taxes people pay in America? No, you don't. Yet you want to pass your judgment. What did you do? Have you even taken the basic responsibility of checking on your house help that he or she is okay during the lockdown, because we all were facing scarcity of something or the other. So have you done that? Answer is no. But you would want to sit down and tell the government, any government, I'm not talking about BJP, I'm talking about like whichever government is in power. You will sit down and teach the government how to run the country, while you can't run your own house one day alone. So my take on politics is very different than probably people around me, because they feel that I am very, they call me Bhakt. Bhakt is a beautiful word. I'm thankful to them. They think it's a gali, but to me it's a beautiful thing, It's a great phrase to use for me. So they say, you're a Modi Bhakt. Yes, I am, because see the man where he is taking the country today. See the man where you call him chai wala. I pray that tomorrow, in case I, have a child and adopt a child, if I get married, I will want him to be like Modi. Because if a man, a chai wala, can take the country there, then, I don't even need to say anything. He has proved it. We are literally on the map after years. People literally are getting up and they're like, earlier it was like, Acha, you're from India. Now it's like, oh, you're from India, So
I think we are missing out on social responsibility, because we sometimes believe, or we sometimes depend on the government so much that we forget our own social responsibility.
We are very dependent type of people. We want to, it's very easy to do this. It's very difficult to ask, did I do this? You didn't do this. But don't ever say, it's an old phrase, all the fingers are pointing at you. What did you do before you point at someone? So constantly abusing the government and calling him a dictator. I just want to say, if he was a dictator, recent case, I know this is not about politics, but Mamata Banerjee, somebody made a meme on her. There was an FIR on that person. Similar person made the same person made a meme on Modi ji. What did Modi ji do? He passed on the same meme on Twitter and said, thank you for sharing this, because at least I had 2 seconds of laughter looking at this, me dancing, and during the election, the stress time, I had something to laugh about. So who was the dictator over here? I would like to understand. What is dictatorship? If there was dictatorship in Narendra Modi ji, then a lot of people who sit and abuse him would be behind bars. So using such big words, think before you use. A lot of people are not responsible.
Right. No, I understand that aspect of it, and I believe that we have to be more careful about it. And I think India is changing. I think it would take time. It would take time for sure. But I think we are going there.
Yeah, definitely. In good way, we are changing. But everybody's become so, I don't know. People have become
selfish.
People that we already were, no? Humans are selfish. Our first name is selfish. But abhi aisa ho gaya hai, Dev, that because we have access to internet all the time, we are just blabbering. We are just saying things for the heck of it, because we want to sound intelligent. We don't analyze कि हम बोल क्या रहे हैं. हम बस डाल देते हैं. Okay, let me just share. WhatsApp universities हम उठाएंगे एक information, हम check भी नहीं करेंगे कि is it true? Did it really happen? We'll just put it out there. Be a wise person. Be a person who, for example, yes, I do follow BJP very proudly out loud there, because they're doing great for the country. Anyone who does good for my country, I am for that government. And also, I'm the person who ever feels that somebody is not doing right from BJP. I always put it on Instagram. I am not somebody who's कि बस एक मैंने आँख बंद कर लिया है कि वो जब गलत करेंगे तो I will never say anything, but I will only speak of the good. I also speak of what is bad. So people don't see that, and they troll me. They send me DM saying that, oh, Andhbhakt, you're so stupid and you're a snake, and I'm like, why is it such a big problem for me to differ from your thought process? I never abused you. If you like Congress, good. I'm sure you have a valid reason, right? There is no attacking someone. Why are you attacking me? And you're not even following me on Instagram, and you're attacking me. That means you're just stalking me.
Right.
And that's criminal act. That's not a normal thing, you know. You're just sitting there watching what I'm doing.
Right. Does it feel bad now, right now?
Sometimes, because the kind of abuses they send is not normal. It's not like, you know, something that you can laugh about. Sometimes it's very harsh, and they can get onto your family. They can talk absolute rubbish. They know nothing about your life. They start stalking your people, and then they start adding 1 + 1, and then they question you. Like, I want to understand why you question. Who are you to question me? You know.
Right.
Even with the actors, when they question them, I want to ask them, why do you think you have rights to question an actor?
Right.
An actor is performing on screen. He or she is acting, right?
Right.
You don't have rights to ask about their personal life. Why do you think you have the authority to hold their collar? No, you don't. You call them an inspiration because you want to call them an inspiration. They didn't ask you to.
Right.
So don't question their character. Don't question their every move.
Right. And I think it's very sad as well, because, you know, with celebrities, with you as well, you know, people like you, I think it's very sad that you are getting called certain things which are not, and certain things that you're very, I mean, let's say you have an opinion, and then it's subjected to discussion, it's subjected to debates, it's subjected to, you know, abuses,
Yes.
you know, sadly. But then apart from that, I want to understand what is the best part of actually having a space where you can actually voice your opinion.
What is the best part about where is the space? The Instagram you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean the space where you can publicly share.
That also they want to snatch away. So there's literally no space there. You have to snatch that space,
Right.
because आप जहाँ पे बोलने की कोशिश करो वहाँ कोई ना कोई आ जाएगा to put that little hurdle and say, you know, hold your collar and question you. They don't understand that this is my page. You don't like it, no problem, unfollow me.
Right.
But you don't have rights to sit there and abuse me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm voicing what I believe in. आपको नहीं अच्छा लग रहा, no problem. आप मत देखिए, आप मुझे unfollow कर दीजिए. But why are you bringing my family? Why are you sending me DMs which are negative? Somebody called me snake. I take it in a positive way. Thank God I have a snake's body. I'm still skinny. But talking about the negative part, it's not nice. And you put it on the comment.
And you know, to be honest, you are actually taking it in a very positive way. But then talk about people who are sensitive.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I think for them it would actually break them.
It does hit them. I remember in 21 we were shooting in Chennai. Something had happened with, you know, something had happened, and I got abused for that. There was no connection, me and that person, and I get DMs non-stop abusing me, and I ended up crying at the shoot, because only so much can you take in life.
Right.
आप कितने भी strong, practical हो, आप इंसान हो. You know, you have a heart that breaks. And when people start abusing your family, that's when it hits me very hard. They can abuse me sometimes. मुझे लगता है छोड़ो यार, it's okay. You know, when you're climbing that ladder, no, there'll be a lot of people who would want to pull you down.
Right.
So it's okay with me, but not family. You know, don't get so dirty and so nasty that you drag the family in this.
Right.
My family is home. They have nothing to do with, you know, my profession or the haters, or they don't even know. My parents are there on Instagram, but they don't even know how to operate it.
Right.
Like, my dad puts my picture, my head is gone, my hand is gone. So I'm like, Dad, don't put my picture.
Right.
So don't drag families. Not just my family, anyone's family.
Right. So this is a wake-up call for everyone who's actually doing this. Please don't. And you might also actually, you know, get into legal troubles as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a very strong warning for everyone out there. But that said, now I want to understand about your personal life, Sadhana.
Oh my God.
So what kind of a person are you? I have understood you're very ambitious, you're very strong, you're opinionated, and you're also emotional. This is what I have got to know, but I want to understand, who are you in real life, in your own life, not on the camera, not for the profession, but when you're personally there with your people who you love, how are you? Who are you?
Jovial, fun, old soul who loves old music, loves being homebound. I'm a family person. For me, my parents are my world. Animal lover, of course, I don't even need to say that. I'm somebody who is an extrovert, but can be an introvert sometimes. I am not, you know, I don't know how to say this, but I love going out. But if you ask me, Sadhana, would you have your friends at your house rather than going to a club? I would say have my friends at home.
Okay.
I am not somebody who would like to go to clubs and have a gathering and all that. But I love my friends. I have limited friends. I love them. Nobody can speak against them. My talwar is always out. Everybody knows how I am. कि कुछ भी बोलो, my talwar is out. Did you just say this? Because I'm very protective about my friends and my family, and I'm a very jovial person. I love laughing. I love talking to the people I love. I am somebody I'm not boring.
Okay.
मैं कुछ भी हो सकती हूँ, boring नहीं हो सकती हूँ. Because I love my company. There are times when I'm talking to myself, and if there's somebody in the cabin, they're like, "Were you talking to me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm talking to myself." And they're like, "Sadhana, are you okay?" I like to talk to myself sometimes. You might find it abnormal because you don't do it. Just because you don't do it doesn't mean it's abnormal. So
How are you alone? Like, who are you when you're alone? Like I understand when you're with friends, you have like your Joel, and then you love to talk to them, and then you party, all of that.
मैं अपने में खुश हूँ देव.
When you're alone.
मैं जैसी हूँ, जो भी हूँ, अपने में बहुत खुश हूँ. मैंने एक चीज समझ लिया जिंदगी में कि never depend on somebody else for your happiness.
Right.
Then you'll be lonely. Right. Be alone and enjoy that company. Right. And when somebody else comes in your life, they will only add on to your happiness.
Correct.
But when you make somebody else the center of your world, when they go, they take away the happiness with you. Right. And of course, I have experience like other people. So I have learned over the period of time. Right. Make yourself the center of the world, of your own world. Right. And you'll be happy.
Right. I mean, you can never be happy with someone if you're not happy with yourself.
Absolutely. You got to have that. It's just a dialogue, but trust me, it is a fact. Right. If you love yourself and respect yourself enough, anybody else coming in your life will be an add-on. An add-on is always good, but subtraction is not good. Right. It breaks you. Yes.
So now we'll talk about breaks. I'm sure you have had your couple of heartbreaks, if I'm not wrong. I mean, it happens, right? For me, I'm certain age, and of course, I also have gone through it. But then, what's love for you, and how's love right now to you?
Love is unconditional, which we only get from our parents and animals. Rest all are situationship. Situationship.
Okay.
A person comes into your life, you enjoy their company, they enjoy your company. फिर थोड़े समय बाद लगता है सिचुएशन में ये सेट नहीं हो रहा है, वो नहीं हो रहा है, and then you part ways. So that is not love. That is called selfishness. कि you comforting me, I'm comforting you. But the day I stop comforting you is when you walk out. कि now she's not, comforting me anymore with whatever the scenario is. So I don't any longer have time for relationships. I'm very clear about that. I've had great shares of relationship experiences. I've had great men in my life. I will not lie. Great men who have taught me amazing, and but I think it's not for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's not for me because I have bigger goals in life right now. If it's easy to say कि balance. There's something called balance. वो balance नहीं हो पाता है. When you have a boyfriend or a husband and you have a goal to go to work, then you have a goal to do something for the animal welfare. तो वो balance ना हर कोई नहीं कर पाता है. Not everybody is an expert कि यार I'm balancing it out. Sometimes a man feels that you are not giving enough time, and that has happened with me. Like last 5 years I've been shooting non-stop every day, and I couldn't give time to my partner. And of course, that was one of the reasons we fell apart. Because he was not wrong. Of course, nobody will have so much patience that every day she's working and there's literally no time for her. So if you find the balance, great for you. But for me, I think it's not my cup of tea.
Right. So right now you completely with Shah Rukh Khan, I mean, since I've seen his movies a lot, it's like Shiddat Wala Pyar and all of that. Yeah. So you are away from it right now.
Absolutely.
But of course, do you believe that it would happen to you maybe in the future?
If it happens, great. Okay. But I have no expectation.
Okay.
Because when you have expectation is when your heart breaks. कि यार क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, like I waited so long. So I have no expectations right now. But if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I'm okay. There's nothing going to make me sad.
Right. So what are your what are your goals? What are your ambitions currently? Like what do you want to do from here on?
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to invest a lot of time in animal welfare. I want to do something for the society. I'm not trying to sound like a Miss India, sitting here with an ambition to impress the audience with my answers. But I'm here to impress me and God. I'm here for a reason. I don't want to die like a nobody. I don't want to live for only me. I want to be able to be the reason when somebody says that, oh, because of her, I have so and so thing. I want to be of some help to anyone who needs my help, or of course animals. But even humans, I would be more than happy to help anyone. Even for an example, like somebody wants to come learn makeup from me but cannot afford my fees, I am okay to help them free of cost. But they should be genuine in their work. They should be genuinely trying to learn, because time is money, time is everything. And if I am giving you my time, I would want to see the genuineness in the person to learn from me. So I definitely want to leave an impact in this world before I leave, that she did something for the welfare of human and animal. I don't want to just earn my money, shop, have a great life, lead a fantastic luxurious life, and then die one day.
Right. So on camera, we just had a conversation with Sadhana. We both had, and then we decided that we would do something, and soon, hopefully, we would try to do something. And I'm just telling it here so that when that launches, I put this clip so that people would know that this is the start of the conversation and the bigger things.
And I hope that happens very soon. I'll be more than happy to be a part.
Definitely. So tell me, how did this love for animals have come to you, and then how exactly you actually wanted to, because I've seen your bio on Instagram. It takes a lot to actually write who you are, because on bios, you basically write, and I thought you would write, I'm Sadhana Singh, I'm a celebrity makeup artist, and I'm this and that, email me, or this is my number, contact, etc. But your bio is not like this. Your bio is all about, I'm an activist, I'm an animal activist, and I was just impressed. Oh, okay, she's actually calling herself that. So from where did it start, and how are you right now calling yourself an activist? How's exactly everything happened to you?
To contrary to this, what I am right now, loving doing is, I was in class 8th and a dog bit my thigh and literally took out the entire skin. Okay. Imagine a dog doing that and me sitting and saying, I love animals, and especially dogs.
Right.
I cultivated this love for animals, I think, around my 12th class. Because every time I used to go to school, I used to watch these dogs being beaten up. I see skinny dogs, some dogs with legs broken. So slowly and gradually I used to understand that some bus must have hit. Why did the bus hit and not take care of the animal? Because they see no advantage to it. Like for an example, if I hit a human, I'll be like, okay, the cops are going to take me, and there are laws. Right. It's going to go against me. But similar way, I'll hit an animal and I'll just walk past. Nobody's going to hold my collar. So dhire, when I understood the logic behind why is the dog certain way, why is that animal certain way, I don't know how I started understanding the love and the pain and what an animal really goes through. Every time I drive home today, Dev, I see so many of these stray dogs, because mostly the shoot gets over late in the night.
Right.
So post 10, when I'm driving back home, I see so many of those dogs looking for food in the garbage.
Right.
Or some just sleeping. And I just look at them, I stop my car and I look at them thinking that we have a home. We have a mother and father waiting at home, right, with a plate full of food, and every facility. And these poor dogs who live on the street, we don't even let them live on the street. We drive over them. We hit them. There are people who question me, why do you feed the dog? He's getting used to food over here. He'll come here every day. What do you mean he's getting used to food? Isn't that a basic necessity for any living being? Like, I don't know when I cultivated this love, but yes, for sure it started from the class 12th, and I started questioning my choices in life. And 2017, little late in life, I realized that me having non-veg is not an answer to loving animals.
Right.
Like when I heard Chinese eat dogs, so I would call them wrong. How are they wrong when I eat non-veg over here?
Right.
That's when I decided that there's no chance I'm going to touch non-veg ever in my life.
Wow.
So I never did. I'm not a vegan. It's a little difficult for me. I will be soon.
Of course.
But I am a vegetarian for sure. No egg, no non-veg.
Wow.
So yeah.
Right. No, definitely. After listening to your story, I really would want to do something, and together we can actually do. So we'll have this conversation later on for sure. But right now, since we were talking about love and then your love for animals, I'd also want to understand, when you told love is unconditional, and right now love is like difficult to find, but I want to understand, how would someone find that love? Like how would someone like you or someone like me can actually find that love for ourselves?
You mean partnership? Or
the unconditional ones.
Unconditional ones. I would say unconditional is from the animals. So if you talk about human love, you need to step out more, socialize, meet people. These days I notice people don't have much patience to know someone. People don't have the chivalry to approach a woman when they think that she's interesting. Rejection is the later part, but at least approach her. I don't see any man doing that. They just stand and stare at her, make her uncomfortable, because when you stare at someone, the person gets uncomfortable. You're not giving her a compliment by staring into her eye and looking at odd places. So if you like someone, when you go, like for example, you go to a restaurant and you see a girl if you think she's attractive, there's no harm in walking up to her and complimenting her and see how she reciprocates and then take it forward. But today, I don't notice any man doing that to a woman or a woman doing that for a man. I go out to places with my friends, to cafes. I see so many men staring at me. And because I already look like a strong face, maybe that's why they don't approach me. Good, they don't. But anyways, no, I'm just joking. But people have forgotten the basic ethics or etiquettes of having a social approach. Yeah.
What do you look for in a man? This would be out there, so.
Wow, okay. I have never been somebody who's been impressed with a six-pack man. Because first, you know, obviously I can't say great heart, because first thing you see is them, not their heart.
Right.
I'm okay with someone who looks fine, because in my eye, everyone's beautiful. That's what I feel, you know. Everyone looks great. But a man who has chivalry, who has manners, who is a family person, and of course an animal activist, somebody who at least lets me do what I love and not stops. And somebody who doesn't believe that partnership means I have to ask their permission. You know, partnership is adjustment. We have to come midway.
Right.
So if I'm looking for someone, I need someone who doesn't think of me like someone who is doing a favor on me by marrying me or being with me. You have to ask me. I am not somebody who's going to hold great regard for someone who expects me to be their puppet. The right word. Because I see a lot of girls, oh, my husband will not allow. Like, allow? What is allow?
Right.
You're not his, you're not in a zoo that your master will not allow you to go out.
Right.
So does he ask you and go out? Do you allow him? The word allow is not in my dictionary. Neither will I put that on my partner, nor will I expect him to do that with me, you know.
Right.
So for me, it's an equal thing. I'm not a feminist. I'm being very honest. I'm not a feminist. I am a woman. I like to be treated like a woman. But also I'm not into dictatorship. Somebody trying to dictate me that you're supposed to wake up at so and so time. If I'm supposed to wake up at so and so time, so should you. It's give and take.
Right. Right. So it's out there. You know now, Sadhana Singh. So be careful and approach in a social manner. Don't look at her. Don't stare at her. Please, it's not good. Don't make her uncomfortable. All right. So Sadhana, tell me how's relationships in your life going on with friends, with family? How's everything on that note?
With family, touch wood, it's been always great day. My parents are amazing. I love my parents. My sister, my brother, their kids, their husband and wife, they're great. I have a great bond with my family, like the best. With my friends, I have limited friends and I rarely get to meet them. But when I meet them, I have the best time. Like, they are people not from this field, couple of them. The others, I anyways meet them at the set. But I have limited friends. I have great time with them. I enjoy talking to them. I love spending time with them. So my relationship with people around me is great at the moment, except for few which is, been not, it's just out of the book, but yeah.
Do you believe in mending relationships?
I do. If it can be, I would. I would not do it at the cost of my self-respect.
All right.
People think self-respect and ego is same. It's not the same.
I understand.
So yes, friendship में होता है, 19 ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है. So it's okay.
Right.
There's no hard feelings.
Right. Perfect.
So, yeah.
All right. So since we have spoken from here on, like since we spoke about your relationships, your personal, your professional life, I want to understand in terms of profession, what are your dreams from here on?
To do more films, to be able to create more art, to be able to create more characters where I'm recognized, because I like to be recognized for my work. I want to be able to do something where, I can take care of more animals that are on the streets, like find a place where I can place them. There is no trouble for them. There's more food, there is more water, there's more medical help. And that's it. My goal in life is very limited, Dev. My goal is not big house and lavish car. I don't have any of that. Of course, I would love to buy a house for my parents in future. That is, that's a plus. That's not, my agenda right now. My agenda is to be able to do something for the society for sure. And it will be till I don't achieve that. which is never ending process. You're never going to be satisfied as a human. It's never like I'm done, animals are all secured. That will never happen till the law actually gets strict. Till the law doesn't get strict, there will be animals who will be dying on the street, they'll be injured, there'll be, the people in the society are going to hit them because they bark or they, make some noise, but it's a never-ending process. This goal of mine of trying to help animals is a never-ending process, and I will do till I'm alive.
Wow, perfect. What has been the worst and the best compliment that I've ever gotten?
Best compliment that I'm a good human. Worst compliment is that I look very arrogant.
You look?
Yeah.
What is it when people say you look arrogant?
They feel that, okay, so when I'm not talking, I'm looking straight, they think that she's so arrogant. So there's a lot of assumption. We as a human do that. Even I do that. I mean, it's nothing wrong. So till you don't speak to the person, you don't realize how he or she is. So when somebody looks at me, they're like, "Kitni arrogant hai ye? Like, what is wrong with her? Why is her face so straight? God has made me this way. I can't help it,
Right.
I don't have a very friendly face, like a very smiling face. So if I don't smile, they think she's very rude, very unapproachable. Yeah, somebody actually told me you're very unapproachable. So I'm like, good. I don't want to be approached by everyone, so it's good.
Right.
But yeah, that's the bad compliment
Right.
that I know.
Have you been on did anyone approach you any time, and what has been the story?
Recently, in fact, last weekend I had gone out after really long with a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, and a very sweet boy actually walked up to me, and he's like, "You're very beautiful." I said, "Thank you," and then he says, "Can I take you on a date?" And for a second I was like, I love his guts. It's so nice. It speaks about his confidence. But the next minute I was like, no.
Okay.
So my friend is like, "Sadhana, you're going to die single. You don't want them to approach you, but you want them to approach you." I'm like, look, I want them to approach other chances. I'm not that chance, because my goal right now is not getting into relationship.
So you're completely focused.
I'm focused. Okay. I'm sure of what I want right now. In my 20s, yes, I was little, deviated. I was having a blast. I was doing fashion weeks. So I had all kinds of fun in my 20s. Now my goal is clear. I know my path.
Do you have any regrets, Sadhana?
Do I have any regrets?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Dave. I think every mistake has taught me something, and I don't think so. I have no regrets. Abhi tak to nahi hai, but I hope future maybe now, but no regrets.
All right. So the main question that we ask after calling our guest is about life, right?
Yeah.
So I'd want to understand, since we spoke all of it, I can understand. I know you a little bit, I hope so. But according to you, what do you think life is all about? What's your perspective on life?
Life is all about experiences. Life is all about making that mistake and learning and getting up and walking again. Life is not all about कि आपने गलती कर दिया और आप सोचते रहो और regret करते रहो और फिर you sulk about it for the rest of your life, and or maybe another, time is everything. And it's like a clock, tick 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 tick, every second it's clicking. You can't waste your time sitting and thinking about something that has happened. वो छोड़ दो, आगे बढ़ो. Think what you can do next. Life is all about having fun, Dave. Do whatever, but have fun. If you don't have fun, then you're just doing, you're just like a random person who's just doing for the heck of it. That's why I say when you do a job, have your heart and soul over there. If you don't do it. Switch to next. Try. You're never too old to try in life. You're never old for anything in life. It's all here. I don't think I'm old. I think as I am, as my birthday is coming again and again, like every year I am taking 1 year ahead, I feel mentally I'm more younger, more vibrant, more full of life.
More wiser.
I think so. My parents don't think that. They think I'm still a child who needs to grow up like any other parents. But life is all about experimenting, trying, making mistakes, and just enjoying it. Yeah, don't waste your time crying. And if somebody leaves your life, it's okay. There's a space made for somebody else. So don't regret. जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. जो होएगा अच्छे के लिए ही होएगा.
Right.
Yes.
How good are you giving advices to your friends? Do they come to you?
Oh, very good. But to myself, very bad. Very good. Like any breakup story, they call me up. Like all my friends call me for their breakup thing, and I'm like, I am so good at giving advices, but I'm so bad for my own self that hota hai, I'm sure even you do that, right? You're a great advisor for your friends because you can see their mistakes when they tell you that, mostly your friends call you for breakups.
when it comes to love, you just get blinded.
You do,
lots of things. Like
you become a handicap, not just blinded. Love is not blind. Love is handicap. Like everything, all your senses stop working.
Right.
And so as a third person, you look at your friend's love story and you're like, okay, you went wrong here and there.
Right.
So I'm very good giving advices.
Right.
But when it comes to myself, and when my friends give me advice on so and so person, I don't take that too well.
Right.
Yeah.
In love, what happens, first things first is the two phases of love, wherein at first you have no control over love, right?
The butterfly
you look
phase.
at person, the butterfly phase, where you look at someone and then you're instantly, connected,
yes.
and you would want to be with them for the rest of your life and all of it. But the second phase is when you actually have control. So let's say that person also reciprocated the same, and now you both are together. In this phase, everything is under your control.
Yes.
Right. It's all about, both of your control. It's about how you're treating them, and it's also about how they're treating you.
Yeah.
Right. It's like give and take. Right.
True.
And it's not 50-50, it's 100-100.
Yeah.
Right. Like how exactly you are with them, how exactly they are, whether they're making time or not, whether you are making time or not, whether they are keeping you as a priority or not, whether you are keeping them as a priority or not.
Yeah.
So I think in love, when things are not in control, it's a very beautiful feeling. But then when love actually comes under your control, that's when you have to be very responsible.
True.
That's when you have to understand what that person likes, what you like, and is there something against each other, or if it is, how do you balance that out? I think there are lots of things, there are lots of complexities that goes on, and I guess most of us fail at that. Fail at that part, and sometimes it might not be your fault, right? Because most of the times there are two partners, and there would be one who's okay balancing, but the other person might not find the right balance. Right. And I think that's when things happen in a wrong way. And I just don't understand the whole aspect. I don't know if you can add here, like when certain something is going on and then the balance is not happening and you're parting your ways, how can you actually bounce back? That's something that's been a mystery for me. Every breakup is your first breakup. They say that pehla breakup is like the toughest one, and then second you get habituated. I really don't believe in it. I believe that
how
every
do you get
breakup,
habituated to pain?
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly, right. Yeah, so according to you, I just want to understand for myself also, how do you think that we can come out of this pain? How can we be okay and then focus on our work, because that's like our priority again. How do you think we can have that balance, not having this love suddenly gone, your heart felt, you're broken, you are sitting on, you're just lying on the bed, it feels like your heart is palpitations and stuff.
There is no alternate to having a heart broken. Like you can't instantly, like some people find their way by I found my work to keep myself busy, that I don't consider that, but that's not very healthy.
Right.
Because what happens is you don't take your time to heal, and that pain is in you, but the day you stop working, that pain really eats you up. So I think the best way to actually process this whole heartbreak is go through that procedure of crying out loud about it and trying to heal each day, instead of finding a rebound or trying to find work and keeping your mind busy. That's not healthy. That's really not healthy. I have been there, I know it. That's not healthy in long term.
Right.
So best is to just go slow and take it slow and heal each day. Of course, you'll not heal 100%. Nobody does. We all have scars, but at least you will know how to handle you in a better way than to find diversions. Like start dating somebody immediately. That's not healthy.
Right.
The poor girl or the boy is going to suffer with you. You're going to put all your pain onto their shoulders.
Right.
So and that's selfish, which we end up doing, which is not right. So best way is to heal yourself and then divert yourself.
Why do you think relationships are not lasting longer nowadays?
Patience and choices. People these days have so many options that like for an example, you have a small fight with your partner. Earlier they would dissolve the fight. They would take days and weeks. They would find ways to give each other flowers, chocolates, and be like, oh, I'm sorry. Today everybody's ego is so high. Everybody is so high on their ego that why should I? The day you have that in you, why should I? It's over. You should never have why should I. Why can't I? That's the question. It's okay. He was wrong or she was wrong. Let me try and let me pacify the person and then talk to the person calmly and try to make it work. Instead of saying, what, I'm done. The exit should not be in your dictionary. That's why I tell my parents, the day I get married, if at all I get married, there will not be a word called divorce until and unless the man gets physically abusive. Otherwise,
or infidelity.
There's
certain things that you can't.
Certain things you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
But I should not look for exit. Okay, he can't treat me like a princess like my dad does. exit. No, there is no exit game for me until unless it's above my,
it's a long way to go, I'm sure.
It is. Yes, for sure. So these days people have a lot of options. They feel कि you know what, why should I take a bullshit?
Right.
So and so girl is giving me attention. So social media का एक drawback ये भी है that things are very out there for you.
Right.
So you don't value what you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting heartbroken through partners is one thing, but then getting heartbroken through friends is all altogether a different game. How is that? Like, did you ever have you been through that?
I did, of course, in school. I did not in college, because college I was barely going to college because of my modeling career. I did have I did lose a friend, and to be honest, that heartbreak was bigger than the boyfriend heartbreak, because that heartbreak, it's okay, I can deal with it. Friends are very important for me. They are like, they're everything. They are my happiness. I speak to them 24 hours a day, literally. Even if I'm work, I'm on call or maybe messages. So I need them, and they are my safe space. Like, I know they're there. So I did lose a friend, and of course it took me very, very, very long time to overcome that. I probably still am not, but how long can you cry about it? How long can you go about it? And you just accept it. It's you have to move ahead in life. You can't hold on to that and cry and let, as I said earlier, ki life is, you have only limited time. You don't know when Upar Wala is going to call you. So enjoy that. And if that friend was really your friend, welcome back to your life. And it's okay. Life doesn't stop for anyone in life, ever. My life will stop the day I don't have my parents, or the day I stop breathing. Friends, of course, but then my life or anyone's life should not stop for anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your mantra of life? This is like the last question.
What's my mantra of life? Live and let live. Just live and let live. क्योंकि आज के ज़माने में बहुत difficult है वो. I am living, but I will not let you live, because I am going to portray my dislike for you, even though I don't know you. I am going to be opinionated towards your choices. So I would just say the simplest mantra that I follow is live, let live. Love, let others love. Don't put your nose into what is LGBTQ, what is straight, what is your preference. Just live your life. We only have limited time. Life is very unpredictable. We don't know. Today, a 30-year-old gets a heart attack. A 20-year-old gets a heart attack, So we don't know what is the reason. But yeah, of course, lifestyle. We do know partial reason of it. But then we don't know when we are going to leave this world. So why so much stress on, wasting your time on thinking what others are going to think about me, or what should I think about the others? Just enjoy, do whatever you want to do. You feel you're not a fit over here. See, if you want it, you will make yourself fit into it. But if you're not a fit over there and you don't want to work hard, no problem. Switch to next. And you're never too old to live your life. Do as your heart pleases. That's it.
Right. So with that, we are ending our podcast. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
But before we end, what we do is we basically play a small game.
Okay.
Because I spoke about impact. I always talk about impact. So since I know that there are amazing guests like you coming in, and we are having amazing conversation, I'd want to make sure that there's an impact even after we are gone. Right? After the podcast, I mean.
Sure.
So what we'll do is we'll play a small game, any game, and then whoever loses the game, they have to perform a philanthropic dare.
Oh my God.
Okay. It's a blinking game for now, because I did not come off many other games as of now. So whoever blinks first will lose, and whoever loses will have to perform a philanthropic dare. It's like feeding people or underprivileged kids or something like that. All right?
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll start.
Sure. Yeah.
So we'll do this, and whoever blinks first. Okay. Do you want to do the counter or should I?
You do it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Are you good at this?
No.
By any chance? Okay.
I lost it. Oh no.
Okay, I won. So what we'll do is, there are certain days that I've written. It's from 1 to 4.
Okay.
Whichever you choose, accordingly, you'll have to perform the rep.
Okay. Done.
Shall we?
Done.
Any number, 1 to 4.
2.
You will love this. It says feed stray dogs.
Oh my God, I'll go right now and do it. I'll do it.
It's feed stray dogs. All right, then that's a dare. That's you have to perform.
Thank you, Dev.
Yeah,
thank you.
And we'll let you know. We'll be together. We'll be doing it together.
Yes.
And I'm sure it would be fun.
Sure.
But before leaving, I'd want to understand how was your experience talking to us within conversation with Dev.
Thank you for having me here. To be honest, this is my first podcast. I've been asked earlier, but I'm not somebody who's very good with interviews. I just feel, because I have no filter.
Of course.
So sometimes I get into issues, and so I always escape interviews because it's not about me fearing the repercussions, but then I just don't want anyone else to feel bad with, I said or whatever I did. So I have never done interviews. I've done my modeling days, but not, after that. So thank you for having me. Thank you for being so patient and so lovely to me and making me so comfortable, because I can take a little time in interviews to be comfortable.
Right.
I look very comfortable, but I'm not very internally comfortable because, constantly I'm thinking that, okay, like since I'm a no filter girl, I'm literally no filter, which I don't regret. But yeah, so thank you. Thank you so much, Dev.
Thank you. This is it for the podcast then. Thank you, everyone.